Hello, my name is Jacob Nordstrom and my presentation is all about the SUV and if it is overall better than a wagon. For these two cars, they have been around for quite a bit of time. The true wagon frame of a car was introduced back in the 40s with the wooden doors and the longer trunk of the station wagon. This has always been a vehicle with a bit more breathing room for the consumers and more storage for whatever is needed. The SUV, on the other hand, is much newer and with the first of these vehicles being heavy-duty off-roaders. Originally inspired by the Jeeps in the military, they went on to become some of the most popular styles of vehicle with off-roading and Sunday driving both capable and comfortable. SUVs nowadays are very popular. If you were to keep track, it seems like a third of all the cars on the road are SUVs, ranging in color, size, and manufacturer. There are luxury SUVs, smaller compacts, large heavy-duty ones, and many more styles in between. They are built upon truck chassis and have taller frames than their car counterparts. While wagons, on the other hand, are much less popular and come in a lot less different styles. There are longer and taller wagons, and then there's smaller and shorter wagons. Although this might sound like a negative, it may be a positive. Wagons may just look similar for a good reason, that being that the style exactly what's needed for the job at hand. A wagon is a sedan-style car with a longer frame and a larger trunk which is converted into a hatch. This is different from a hatchback because those are usually not longer than the sedan models. So with this larger trunk, a person is comfortable and able to grab large hauls within a smaller vehicle. Now to truly compare these two, I'll go through their key characteristics, starting with fuel economy. Tim Robson states in his article comparing the two, a wagon will often offer better fuel economy than a similarly engined SUV, thanks to a lighter weight and less drag through the air due to a more streamlined body. End quote. To further reiterate, SUVs are undeniably heavier vehicles and due to that, will cost more money overall in travel, whether this is long range or merely a few miles. Next is off-road capability. For this one, there is only one clear winner. SUVs all have built-in four-wheel or all-wheel drive, giving an off-road drive much more flexibility. This is a clear plus. However, there are also some wagons that do feature this as well. This isn't the only factor, although, as SUVs are taller and therefore have more ground clearance, which is key to not damaging the underneath parts of your vehicle. Another topic of interest is space inside the vehicle. Although common belief is that SUVs are the most comfortable for passengers as it offers the most boot room, this is not necessarily true, as wagons also can have a large amount of room and the smaller SUVs can be quite miniature. There is headspace to bring up as well. This is where the SUV shines, as it, being a much taller vehicle, has more headspace and better posture with seats, as they are in an upright position. This allows for the less physically able to access the vehicle with much less effort. As a sedan-styled car, the wagon does not have this luxury. With the topic of interior space, storage comes to mind. In terms of storage, this is a slugfest, with different models and manufacturers really making the most difference. Only the largest of the SUVs, with trunk sizes equal to or larger than the vans, have more horizontal space than the largest of the wagons, while vertical space is where SUVs are more dominant. There are extremes on both ends of the argument, so individual comparison is necessary and the true way to decide. Now to exterior size, which is not much of a contest, obviously. SUVs are heavier, taller, and bulkier. To quote Matthew Swerzek, if you really do regularly tow, an SUV, especially a body-on-frame one, is better than a minivan or a wagon. For example, Road and Track reported The Volvo V60 can tow a minimum of 4,409 pounds, with the Chrysler Pacifica can tow up to 3,600 pounds. Meanwhile, the Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro, even hampered by off-road shocks, can tow up to 7,100 pounds, according to Motor Trend. End quote. SUVs are larger and stronger, and the best of them can tow up to 7,000 pounds. With a person who has a boat or needs to tow heavy objects/materials, this can be necessary. Finally, to the last topic of discussion, driving stability. Wagons are lower to the ground and have on-road shocks, which is an added benefit for drivers. The height, weight, and off-road capabilities of the SUV come as a hindrance, creating a more dangerous vehicle on the road. There is a chance of rollover, which can cause added injury and damage to any crash or loss of control to the vehicle. To wind up this presentation, it must be said that both vehicle types offer their own advantages and disadvantages. For SUVs, their larger size and space, they are more accessible and useful for towing jobs and rougher terrain, while the Wagon is a more stable and cost-efficient car. To put my own bias into the mix, I drive a Wagon, specifically the Subaru Outback, and I enjoy driving that much more than any SUV that I have tried. So in conclusion, wagons and SUVs are great for their own intended purposes. For me, I like the driving capabilities of the wagons, as I do not need to go on any extreme trails. So for this reason, I recommend the wagon over the SUV. The next time you are in need of a new vehicle, think back on this presentation and then go do your own research for your own needs. Thank you and have a great day.